I tell my story as often as I can. It's a cautionary tale. It was in July of last year, and I was rushing. I was trying to make breakfast, iron clothes, do multiple things at one time. I heated up, it was peanut oil, to fry some food for my family's lunch. I went back into the bedroom and was ironing, and then the smoke detector went off. I went back out and the pot was on fire. And I panicked. The flames started going up the side of the refrigerator. I knew not to put water on a grease fire. However, I didn't know you could just cover it. And so life would have been very different. My daughter and I tried to get the pot out of the house because the cabinet and the refrigerator were catching fire. She held the pot and I got the door. But when the air hit the fire, it caused it to create a ball of fire. And so I was hit down my entire left side, and it wrapped around as well and burned some of my right side as well. When I got to the emergency room, that's when the severity of things started to really kick in. I had second and third degree burns, and I had wraparound burns.
She had burns up and down her hand and her arm, which is very commonplace from trying to remove a frying pan full of grease that's caught on fire. Grease, having an oil-like component to it, will adhere to the skin, keeping you in contact with the hot liquid longer, and also you get a chemical burn to it.
My initial thoughts were about my daughter. I wanted to make sure that she was okay because the way that she screamed, I never heard her scream like that. So I was more frightened for her, and I wanted to show a level of strength. And so even when the ambulance came, I walked to the ambulance. And then when it finally did hit and just how bad it was, I didn't think I was going to live. Mentally, it has been horrific. I was suicidal for a long while. The pain is beyond imaginable.
It's not uncommon for our burn patients to have some post-traumatic stress, which is why we have a support group and we have referral groups for them to go to work through that healing that happens way after the burn is healed, but the mental part still goes on.
There were some days that I would wake up and I was sad that I woke up. And today I still have my bad days, but my good days outnumber my bad days, so I'm blessed.
Getting to see patients like Rochelle come back to us and show us how they're doing long after the injury, it's really vital for the staff and their morale. We have a burn clinic where we see people after they leave the hospital, but once they're healed, we release them. Really seeing someone long after a burn injury and seeing how well they're doing and how well they've adapted, it's a great morale boost for the doctors and for the staff. It really helps to underscore and validate the work we do because we see them at their worst, and now we get to see that most people are okay on the other end, and I think that's real helpful for them.
I want everyone here to know that they save lives. I mean, from Nurse Amy, who I call the Terminator because she terminated the pain, and all of the physical therapists, Dr. Michike, Dr. Bond, Cookie, who transported me down to the OR every time, all of the OR nurses. I met a doctor during my last surgery. He gave me this and I keep it. It says, God ain't released me yet. And I never got his name, but he gave me this. And, if he sees this, I want him to know that I never take it off. I do have burns down the left side of my face, but position your hair a certain way, make sure your foundation is popping, and you're good. So I'm like, it's fall, I can hide everything except my hand. So I might end up looking like Prince with the lace glove. As a burn survivor, your skin is forever changed, and you are susceptible to skin cancer burns from the sun. And so we talked about she wanted to do sunscreen. Almond Raw Beauty is what she decided to call it. And I think that it's going to have a positive impact on an underserved community.
Healthcare professionals can tell you all day long, don't do this, be careful about that. But it's usually when you find someone who's done those things and then had something bad happen to them that's willing to tell you their story. I think those are the things that stick with people the longest.
Most people don't know, in the United States alone, there's over 500,000 people who get second and third degree burns every year. The burn community is a fraternity where we don't want new members, but we know we get new members every day. And so I want them to understand that, life will never be what it was before, but as long as you're here, then celebrate the life that you do have.